personal background checks. How can everyday people do personal background checks? And what is the easiest way, and what is the most detail? Where can you get the most details? So I'm going to show you how this website works here, sheriffsdepartment.net. So come on down. We have resources for 50 states here. I'm going to be using Arizona in this example. Most states will have a very similar process to what I'm about to show you. So the first option you have here is to do a nationwide check. This is an instant check. It's nationwide. All you need is the first and the last name. And it's going to give you a big picture view. It's going to look at databases that you might not even be thinking of. Not all of these databases are even public. So it's a pretty cool way. It gives you that big picture look. And then if you really want to zoom in on a specific state or county, you want to use local records. And let's go over the essential things that make up a background check. You have court records, you have criminal records, you have driving related records, you have business lookup and license lookup at times too, for things like contractors and chiropractors, doctors. There is incarceration records, so prison records, and then of course the sexual offender registry. You also have more localized searches like property records, jail records, mugshots, things like that. So I'm going to look at the two most essential here when it comes to background checks and how can you do a personal background check. So looks like the Arizona Department of Public Safety has a service here, and they have a few options. You have employee type of a background check, fingerprint clearance type of a background check, and then what they offer you is an individual review type of a background check. So you're able to actually review your own record, and a lot of states will offer this type of a check to make sure everything looks good on there before applying for a job or whatever, just to know that there isn't anything that shouldn't be on there. They'll offer you, a lot of states will offer you to do a review type of a background check on yourself. So see if your state maybe does something like this. Your second option would be to look at court records, all the criminal activity, all the civil lawsuits. That's going to be in the court database. So anybody that maybe doesn't necessarily want to work with the official state criminal record check, or you don't want to pay money, you can always look at the court records also, because it does display criminal activity on there. And in this case, I'm going to look at the court specific page here for Arizona, and there are going to be multiple databases. Different courts work with different court cases. So municipal courts, you have your city, your traffic related cases. Justice of the peace, as an example, will work with lower level crimes. They'll do a limited civil, some small claims, things like that. And then the superior court will deal with like felonies, probate, evictions, things like that. And so you want to make sure you have looked at the databases in each of these courts, depending on the locations that you've lived in. And then of course, if anything ever got appealed, you got to check the courts of appeals. And so what sheriffsdepartment.net offers you is access to these different courts within the state. And a lot of times they will have online access to look at these records, or at least the docket search. And if they don't have online access, a lot of times what they will do is they will have terminals, and these are literally physical computers that the public can come in, say court of clerks or a courthouse. You got to figure out exactly where they are located, which you can always Google, and you can come in and pull those records up through the court if there is nothing that can be done online. Just some states are still a little behind on this, but a lot of them are doing this online nowadays, so you could pretty much do everything from behind the computer. So I'm going to go ahead and drop a link in the description, or you can just type sheriffsdepartment.net into your browser to get started. We have all the official state resources here for background checks, criminal records, court records, inmates, vital records, warrant checks, things like that. So thanks for watching the video, and again, visit sheriffsdepartment.net and get started on your personal background check.